the KeSPA Cup 2016 here at the Nexon Arena. And the moment you guys have all been waiting for has come. We are going to have Neeb going head-to-head with Rogue on the big stage.
We are jumping right into it. Neeb's actually vetoing King Sejong's station, so we're going to go into Frost, Frozen, and New Gettysburg. And that's kind of going to be the swap, I'd say, generally speaking, with Sejong and Frozen Temple here in Korean leagues. About the Oasis Dasan and Galactic Process, only used for snipes and not very popular maps. They're not used in many of the leagues here as well, especially at Dasan Station. But this is just going to be a solid best of 3 on these 3 maps that we all know really well. And Neeb may consider him to be the favorite here, which is the first time I feel like I'd ever say that in a Korean league with a foreigner playing.
Yeah.
Since Naniwa was living in Korea. Before that, perhaps when Mana was here, but it's been a long time since we've seen foreigners succeed in Korean groups.
Neeb giving us a bit of a smile here, looking pretty okay coming into this one. You know, one of the things that people were scared about was, what if he's nervous? What if he doesn't play up to his potential? But I think that he's pretty comfortable in the booth right now. He looks good. Whereas Rogue, you know, he hasn't been as consistent as of late. We'll see how it does go down, guys. We're going to jump straight into game number 1 now. Neeb versus Rogue.
프로스트로 떠납니다.
Here we are, guys, on Frost to start game number 1 of the set. Up in the top right, the purple Protoss, it is Neeb.
And up to the top left in green, his opponent from the generic Green Wings, it is Rogue. Here we have it, guys. So what you've all been waiting for, as you mentioned before. Neeb now playing in a Korean league here versus Rogue. Sexy boy on the defending Pro League champion team.
Yeah.
Generic Green Wings.
There's so much to talk about, you know. Neeb, he comes over here, and generally, when we see Protosses come out on the big stage, the Koreans like to test them. They go ahead, they get really aggressive, they go for a cheese. They're like, well, sometimes people feel like it's disrespect, but also it's like kind of like a testing ground. You know, the Koreans are like, well, can they really hang with us? Let's see. You know, let me go for a very aggressive build and see if he can keep up. And you know, of course, foreign players are coming out here for their first time. They get nervous, you know, stuff like that. So Rogue, I mean, he's a guy that comes out with crazy builds. He was always like the Pro League sniper. He had fantastic builds. He made those bailing drops really popular against Zest in a time where Zest was like the best Protoss. And, you know, Rogue also a very strong ZVP player, specifically against Zest. So a lot of people were saying as well that Neeb's style is similar to Zest's. But, you know, I don't know how you would put it. Neeb said himself that, you know, if he can get into his zone, then he feels very, very comfortable. But it's about getting into that zone for him. He feels like he can defeat any player if he gets there. So we'll see if he can get through the early game and just kind of get into his groove.
Yeah, and I think that winning the first game obviously would be really huge for his mentality. Now, we talked about you know, what it means for Neeb to be potentially favored here, but every analyst you talk to in Korea right now is saying that they think Neeb is going to get out of the group in 2nd place. Most people are discounting Rogue and Zast because they were so out of form compared to Byun, and we've seen Neeb's success on the Korean ladder. Kanada's played against him several times as random. He's been defeated by him. We've seen Neeb defeat Trap. You know, I saw him do that in person. We've seen Byun say in interviews, Neeb was the guy who he trained with to practice against Deer. So these are the kind of things that you hear is like the GSL champion has asked this guy for practice. So he is a foreigner, yes, but he's lived in Korea for a long time now. Just a few weeks, really, about a month, I guess, or so.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a
month and a
long
half.
time to have been playing on the Korean ladder, to get #1 on GM on the ladder, and also have practice partners that are asking you for customs, because the ladder is somewhat meaningless, I feel, for where someone's form is at, but it can give you a good indication of how often they're playing. So he's playing with top Koreans all the time. He's also custom playing with champions. So when you hear all these things, when you look at Rogue's recent results in individual leagues, you think, well, I know this is a foreigner, but Neeb is playing with top-level Koreans and beating them more often than not. So just keep all these things in mind. Neeb is known for his aggressive, adept glaive play, and we're seeing that already here. He's going to take a third base with this right now. We'll see if that works against Rogue, because obviously Rogue has probably done his homework as soon as these groups were announced. He's been studying his play more often than the other players, because he's played against them so many times. Neeb is a little bit more of the unknown.
Definitely no secret that Neeb loves his adept play with the resonating glaives. And we already see that Rogue taking this very seriously. He is going for a Baneling Nest and a lot of links, but he also does have that Evo Chamber, so he could be seeing drops. There is one Overlord in position to be morphed and go for that drop, but for now, he does need to defend this, and right now, there's no Banelings being morphed.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough yet. Only 12 lings, 10 more lings about to pop out. 2 of them, it looks like, probably going to come out here and die immediately. The Shady actually does commit to here, already a surround, but there's not enough lings. This Adept army with glaives just shreds those so quickly, and Rogue having some trouble already dealing with this heavy pressure from Neeb.
There's no lings left.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to do so much damage, and with the resonating glaives coming out so quickly with the chrono boost, 24, 30 lings are on the way, but there were no Banelings ready. He was not prepared for this attack, and already Neeb is getting a huge amount of damage.
Look at this position. It's so hard to get surface area. These lings are almost worthless against these 2 adepts here at the front. He's down 11 workers, and that's going to be a problem. He just spent all of his larva on lings as well. He lost so much mining in the main base. He's just now sent that back, but unfortunately right back into adepts, 2-shotting these workers over and over. And Neeb, just like he always does in this matchup, is just using adepts to dominate one of our Korean Zergs.
This is looking like I Am Shanghai all over again, man. He just comes in here, makes adepts, and the Zerg's like, well, I don't know what to do. And at the same time, even though he does lose all of his adepts, he got so much damage, he took such efficient trades, and he got that third base out so fast on a map like this. He's immediately transitioning, making Immortals, getting 5 more gates, and he is so far ahead of Rogue in this game.
We're going to see a little bit of that Korean flavor that Rogue and Dark together kind of made the new meta back in Season 1, back in the spring season of Star League, this Baneling style. It's a bit delayed, obviously, and much less powerful before. It almost feels desperate in this game. Let's see how quickly Neeb reacts to this. This is something that Korean pros will almost never lose a single probe to. Is he going to land?
Oh, he lands. He's going to walk. And there's no Baneling speed, obviously. Lair only coming now.
Oh, he's going to try to come from 2 sides here. Let's see how quickly Neeb can respond. Very quick reaction here. In fact, trapping these Banelings, and good splits.
Really
5
fantastic
probes go down,
splits,
though.
Yeah. He's got to continue running away. He is going to warp in a couple of adepts now. And he is going to kill one of those Banelings, so he should be safe for now. At the same time, a bit of a run by coming in here, but an immediate overcharge. Only loses 6 probes.
He lost some mining time, but let's be real. He has a ton of gateways now and a lot of money with a Prism. It's going to be almost impossible for Rogue to hold this next attack. That was not enough damage to throw him off, and that was gas spent for economic damage that's
Look at
really
how many
insignificant.
Drones he made as well. He drones so heavily. I think he made around like 14 drones. Now he's desperately trying to get these spine crawlers up. And even though it's only 1 Immortal, that is always going to be so well protected with this many adepts and this many sentries for those force fields.
Yeah, the Banelings aren't going to be very effective here either with these sentries that have so much energy built up for such a while here. They've been out. Okay, force field's going down here. The Baneling hits mediocre at best. 1 sentry gets surrounded, but this is way too much Protoss.
Look at those force fields just perfectly executed here. Another huge warp in, and it looks like Neeb is in place now to take game number 1.
He's just going to wreck him. GG. Neeb winning a very dominant first game. That could potentially be the most one-sided game we see in this group if things continue, but Rogue just got bopped, and you would think he would play it a little bit safer versus a player who's so known for this style of just attacking Zergs with adepts. No matter what the spawn locations are, no matter what the map is, he knows the way to do it. He hits you fast, and he hits you hard. And Rogue did not have enough lings, made them too late, and there you have it. I mean, We'll see what happens
I
in
mean,
game 2, but I
yeah.
mean, that's the basic summary of that game.
I was saying after seeing Neeb's face before we got into the game that he looks really comfortable, and that was really the big question on everybody's mind. If he's comfortable,